At this point, I hope that you've tried these last two and now you're just checking your work to see how you did. The first one says Charlie purchased a $200 savings bond. After 5 years, it was worth $232.50. Find the simple interest rate for his bond. So think about what the question is asking you for. It's asking you for the rate. So we're going to put a little question mark here. What we have to decide is what is the interest, what is the principal, and what is the time. And so I see time in years is 5 years. That's the easy one. I'm going to plug that in to start here. Principal, remember, is my starting amount. He started his savings bond at $200. And then interest is how much you earn or how much you have to pay for that money. And so in this case, to find our interest, we actually... This one was tricky, and maybe you caught it, maybe you didn't. We actually have to subtract our principal to get how much of that is actually interest, because this is what it's worth, but it's actually, Charlie put in $200, so that's not interest. That's not what he gained. He actually only gained $32.50. So my interest is $32.50. My principal is $200. My rate I don't know, and my time is 5 years. When I plug that into my formula, I equals PRT. My interest is $32.50. That's equal to my principal, 200, times my rate, which I don't know, so I'll put in an R, times my time, which is 5. I'll multiply on this side what I can. 200 times 5 is 1,000, so 32 and 5/10 equals 1,000 times R. To get R by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by 1,000. 32 and 5/10 divided by 1,000, and when I do that, I get 0 and 325 10,000ths is equal to R. Now remember that rate is written as a decimal, but it is a percentage, so we do want to make it a percentage by moving our decimal 2 places to the right, and now we get our rate as 3 2/2500%, which seems like a reasonable rate compared to the other rates we've been talking about. If you come up here, we had a rate of 8%, we had a rate of 2%, we had a rate of 3.25%, a rate of 6.5%, so 3.25 seems like a reasonable rate, seems like it goes along with our other answers and makes sense. The next one said Avery deposits $6,000 into an account. That sounds like principal, so under principal you should have put 6,000. That earns 4% in simple interest. That sounds like a rate because it's a percent, so I'm going to change it to a decimal to be 0 and 400ths. How long will it take? So time is what we're trying to figure out, so I'll put a question mark there. For the total amount in his account to reach $6,800. That means that our interest is $6,800 minus 6,000 because we started with 6,000. So in that case, its interest gained $800. So we want to know how long that's going to take. $6,000 at a 4% interest rate to earn $800. So when I plug into my formula, I equals PRT, my interest is $800. That's equal to my principal, 6,000, times my rate, 0 and 400ths, times my time, which I don't know, so I leave as T. I can multiply 6,000 times 0 and 400ths and get 240. So 800 equals 240T. The inverse of multiplying is dividing, so I do that to both sides. 800 divided by 240, and when I do that, I'm getting 3 3/10 repeating equals my time. Remember that this is time in years, so 3/10 repeating you should recognize as a common fraction. That would be 3 1/3, and then time is always in years, so we label it years is our answer here. So how long will it take for that amount to reach $6,800? 3 1/3 years, or if we were talking about months, we would say 3 years and 4 months.